Well, hello everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but today I decided that I was going to give my thoughts on the first half of Death Battle Season 11, since at this point we're over halfway done with the season. I know, yeah, it's definitely been a while since I've uploaded. At first I was going to try to review every episode individually, but I mean, it's way too late for that, so I'm just going to knock it out in one video. This is just going to be like an unscripted video, just like a similar to my thoughts on the future of Death Battle video. It's just going to be like an unscripted podcast where I just discuss Death Battle Season 11. So, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say, so let's just get into it right now. So first we have Omni-Man versus Bardock, the one that started it all, the episode that saved Death Battle and kickstarted this independent era. I mean, whether you like it or not, this is a very special episode. I definitely saw it coming that this was going to be the premiere. I mean, it just felt right. Like, a 3D episode shown in, like, a fucking theater. Like, it just made perfect sense. And I was definitely very excited for this episode going in. Devil Artemis, he's had a really good track record. And, well, what I think of it, well, I mean, I kind of already exposed what I thought of the episode. If you see my season 10 ranking, I mean, I kind of flashed it on screen very briefly, but I love the episode. I know it's a very controversial one, but I don't give a shit. I thought it was fantastic. I was very happy with how it turned out. I mean, starting up with just the analysis, I mean, this is a phenomenal pair of analysis segments in my opinion. I really do think both of them are great. Like, they do kind of like, hyper fixate on one thing and they just do a damn good job at it, but I mean, it's true. I mean, Omni-Man, the editing in that analysis is like, dude, it's like the best fucking editing ever, man. Like, they just went so crazy with it. Like, it's so good. Like, seriously, DJ, he's a legend. He's a legend. Like, that man, he can edit like a god. And then Bardock's analysis, the editing there wasn't quite as fancy, but I actually do think the story coverage there was honestly better than Omni-Man's. Omni-Man's was a little bit short. It kind of like, I guess they try to avoid spoilers, but like, who gives a fuck? Fuck the people who watch the death battle before reading the comic or watching the show. But I mean, Bardock's on the other hand, it does cover like the entire story like quite a bit better. So I do appreciate it for that. I think both of them are honestly great analysis segments, even though they do kind of focus on one thing. And then the fight animation, I mean it's a pretty simple Dragon Ball fight at the end of the day. It's not like I wouldn't give the episode like a 10 out of 10 or anything. It is a pretty simple Dragon Ball fight, but I mean for what it is, I still thought it was pretty great. I mean the fight I think is definitely a lot better paced than Megatron versus Frieza. Like it's consistently fast paced throughout the entire thing. There's no like overly long and drawn out setup. Like the fight's 4 minutes long and it's just like 4 minutes of straight action. Like it's basically just like perfectly paced in my opinion, and it definitely kind of like ramps up in craziness as it goes along. Like you got their base forms, and then you have Bardock's like Great Ape form, which that was a pretty cool sequence. And then the sequence of Super Saiyan, that was just so good, man. That was a godlike climax. Like once again, Megatron versus Frieza totally drops the ball in the climax. Like we could have gotten such an awesome fight with Black Frieza, but nope. This one though, they take it to the next level with Super Saiyan. Like it gets such a good transformation, and that final fight against Omni-Man in space, it's so good. I especially love that shot of him just like throwing the entire Kamehameha. That is just like peak death battle right there. And you wanna know what else is peak death battle? The fucking track. Like Solid Stay Invincible, easily one of my top, maybe like top 10 favorite tracks. I don't know, that might be a bit high. At least top 15. Like it's at least one of my top 15 favorite tracks. Like it's so good. Like it definitely elevates the fight for me. Like it definitely elevates it. And yeah, I know the research. It's so bad. Oh, oh my gosh, Bardock should have won. They're biased. They got it wrong. I mean, look, I'm not like the biggest fan of like how Death Battle does scaling. I mean, I definitely think they're a bit too liberal with their scaling. Like they'll scale anyone to anybody, no matter how inconsistent it is. I mean, just look at Rocket versus Stitch. But I mean, hey, Death Battle they have like they have rules. I mean, I may not agree with those rules, but at least they actually have like defined rules, unlike Animation Rewind, where it just kind of depends on his mood. All right, like he'll fucking wank Spider-Man, but Sonic, nope. Like Death Battle, they actually do have defined rules. They feature characters at their absolute best. So, I mean, you can disagree with the Sun Disc scaling, but I mean, you do gotta keep in mind like Death Battle, like that's literally one of their rules that they feature characters at their best. And I mean, for what it was, I mean, I think the outcome made perfect sense. All right, I think for an episode, featuring both of them at their absolute best, I thought the outcome, I thought it made sense. I mean, just by the episode's own logic, I think it made a lot of sense. I mean, I have done the math, and it is very close. Like, obviously, Omni-Man has a strength advantage, Bardock has the speed advantage, but Omni-Man, his strength advantage is actually bigger than Bardock's speed advantage. I will be discussing this in a future video where I'm going to try to power scale every single Death Battle character. I'm going to try to rank them from weakest to strongest, but yes, the episode is not wrong, and honestly, like, this might be up there with Cole versus Alex for, like, one of the most annoying, like, fan responses to an episode ever. Like, it is just so obnoxious. Like, it's for an episode that has a perfectly fine verdict, in my opinion. I mean, at least like by Death Battle standards, I'd say it's got a perfectly fine verdict. Like, people are just like totally blowing it out of proportion. Like, this might honestly be on par with Cole versus Alex for like most annoying fan response ever. All right, so yeah, I mean, overall, I'd probably give Omni-Man versus Bardock like about a 9 out of 10. Like, I didn't really have any issues with it. I guess the only thing holding it back from a 10 was just like kind of its simplicity. Like, it didn't really do anything quite as crazy as like, Goku Black vs Reverse Flash, or like Goku vs Superman 3 or other Dragon Ball fights, but still, for a Dragon Ball fight, I thought it was phenomenal. Unfortunately, not quite as good as Omni-Man's other episode, but I mean, still, Omni-Man, he's got two fantastic episodes, and I think that's a really great thing. Alright, and then after Omni-Man versus Bardock came Joker versus Giorno, and a funny story about this episode, leading up to it, Gumball Viking, fellow Death Battle fan Gumball Viking, he like accidentally spoiled it without even knowing it was the next time. Like, he posted like a Joker versus Giorno thumbnail, and he was like, "Hey guys, this is like the official Joker versus Giorno thumbnail," like kind of jokingly, without even knowing it would be the next time. Like, I thought he actually spoiled it for real, but nope. I mean, to be honest though, it was a very obvious next time. I mean, I was expecting either this or like Naruto versus Luffy to be next. And I mean, yeah, going in, I mean, I'm not like super crazy about the matchup. I mean, I'm not like really interested in either franchise, but I was still excited. I mean, the JoJo episodes or Death Battle of, I mean, aside from like fucking Jotaro versus Kenshiro, I think the rest of them have been really great. And yeah, I was definitely hoping for this one to follow suit. And yeah, overall, I'd say it was also. I honestly I like it about as much as Omni-Man versus Bardock. Like, I thought it was also a really great episode. I mean, I might prefer Omni-Man versus Bardock by like a hair, but they're like basically neck and neck for me. So yeah, I mean the analysis, like probably like one of the lesser analysis segments of the season, but I still thought the analysis for what it was still pretty great. I mean, they are rather short, but I mean still, I enjoyed them. And then the fight, I mean, this is my least favorite like non 3D episode of the season. Yeah, spoilers for what I think of the other 3D episodes. But yeah, this is my least favorite non 3D episode, and I mean, still, it's amazing. Like, it's such a good sprite fight. Like, it's crazy. Like, this is my least favorite sprite fight so far, and it's like better than like pretty much every single one we got in season 10, except for like Bill versus Discord. I mean, it's only like 3 minutes long. It is the shortest fight of the season by far, but it didn't really feel that short to me. I thought there was plenty of cool stuff that they did in this one. The visuals are just like phenomenal. The ending is awesome. Like, I love how they kind of like incorporate like, you know, kind of retro 3D graphics and like a sprite animation. Like the visuals all throughout are just like amazing. Like, both characters, I mean, their powers are definitely unlike anything we've ever seen in Death Battle. I think it definitely made not just for like an interesting analysis, but also for like a really interesting fight. And I mean, look, the conclusion. I mean, I'm sure it's right. I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about this matchup. Honestly, I don't even really have much to say about it. Like I'm not like super invested in like either franchise at all. But I mean, as an outsider, I still really enjoyed Joker versus Giorno. But I mean, no matter how good Joker versus Giorno was, there's no way it would ever compete with Bowser versus Eggman. I mean, it was pretty obvious that this one was going to be next. And I mean, from the beginning, I was so hyped for this episode. Like the little bit of footage we got, it looked so amazing. Like like just that little sneak peek, like it already looked like it was going to be like one of the best episodes ever. Like I knew for a fact that this was going to be one of the best episodes ever. Like I even had a dream about the episode. I literally had a fucking dream about Bowser vs. Eggman. Like the day before it came out, I had a dream about it, and then I watched it, and like the fight was literally like just as good as it was in my dream. Like it was crazy. Like it almost felt exactly like it was in my dream with how like fast paced it was. But I mean, I'm getting a bit hasty now. I gotta talk about you know the analysis before I get straight into the fight. But I mean, first of all, I mean it should be obvious to anyone with eyes, but Bowser vs. Eggman is fucking it's a masterpiece. It's a fucking masterpiece. It is absolutely positively amazing, and it's even more than that. It's even more than that. I'll get into it, but I'm gonna say something crazy about this episode. All right, and it might come as a surprise, but this is actually my new favorite episode of Death Battle. I know I made like a huge song and dance about Goku versus Superman, but I think Bowser versus Eggman is better. Like it's not quite as special as Goku versus Superman, but like it's just like a better made episode. Like I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's not the best episode in the entire show. It fucking is. Like instead of just like kind of instead of like, having that special feeling of Goku versus Superman, this episode on the other hand, it literally is just like on a completely different level of quality that like I never even thought was possible. Like I never even thought Death Battle could do these kinds of episodes. Like I thought it was just like completely out of their ballpark. Like I never could have seen an episode like this coming out. Like let alone in like the Rooster Teeth era, especially in like the Independent era, an episode like that's literally just like if I gave, Bill Cyrus versus Discord and like Scooby versus Courage a 10, I'd give this one an 11. Like I'm not lying when I say it's just like on a completely different plane of existence to the rest of the show. Like they've never made an episode on this quality before. All right, and I mean I think it makes a lot of sense. Like the only way that they could have ever topped Goku versus Superman was to just do an episode that's just like on a totally different standard. Like it literally just like brute force its way to the top by just being better. All right, and like starting with the analysis, I think it might have my favorite pair of analysis segments in the entire show. Like I think Superman's might still be my favorite overall, but still Bowser and Eggman, they have like two of my favorite analysis segments in the entire show. Like phenomenal writing, editing is just like insane. Like it's actually crazy how good the editing is here. Like it's even better than Omni-Man's analysis. Like there's so much detail in the editing. Like every second is just like eye candy. Like not just the fight, but the fucking analysis is just like pure eye candy. It's phenomenal. They're both very long analysis segments too, and they're amazing. The fight though, it's golden. It is absolutely golden. Like it visually it might be the best looking. I mean, it is easily the best looking hand drawn fight in the entire show. Easily, I think it's the best looking hand drawn fight. I don't know. It might it might even be better than Galactus versus Unicron visually. It might even beat that one. Like it is just so good. And in terms of what actually happens in the fight, it's all amazing. Like this is exactly what I wanted. Like this is the exact kind of energy I wanted. Like it's so fucking chaotic. Like it's a full scale army battle. Like it's got the exact like hectic energy I wanted from this fight. Like just like the opening shot of like the two armies about to charge into each other. Like it definitely like gave me chills. Like it was definitely like Avengers Endgame levels of hype for me. And I mean, we already saw it, but that Egg Dragoon fight is amazing. Like that's just like the first like exchange between the two, and it's already like one of the coolest sequences in the entire show. Like it's already like one of the most well choreographed and just like incredible sequences in the entire show. And that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning of this insane ride that was Bowser vs. Eggman. Like, because after that you got the Infinite moment and fucking Metal Sonic. Dude, that Metal Sonic sequence, like, that felt straight out of the fucking dream I had. It really did. Like, I swear to God, in that dream I had, there was a sequence just like that one. Like, it was insane just to see it in real life. Like, that was definitely, that dream was definitely, like, revealing the future there. Like, this episode, man. Like, like, Metal Sonic in this episode is just, like, they make him the fucking coolest character ever, basically. Like, that first sequence with him is just, like, so awesome. Alright? And it gets even crazier. Alright? It literally gets even crazier. Fury Bowser, I mean, he's just straight up got the best transformation sequence in the entire show. Like, that is another, like, this episode has, like, multiple, like, Avengers Endgame, like, moments in, like, a single animation. Like, it literally has, like, multiple moments on par with, like, the ending of Goku versus Superman, basically just, like, throughout the entire thing. Like, everything to do with Fury Bowser is just insane. Like, I didn't even know he was 3D at first. I thought he was just, like, drawn in, like, a different style to, like, give him some kind of, like, ethereal feeling. And yeah, I mean, that entire fight with him is just, it's just, like, top tier stuff. Like, it is just so amazing, dude. And somehow the fight just, like, gets even crazier at the end. Like, the final clash between him and Super Neo Metal Sonic, amazing. The final clash between him and the Death Egg, amazing. And then the death, I absolutely love it. Like, just like the impact of Dry Bowser punching Eggman straight into like the Lucky Block, like that was such a sick death. And look, I know the outcome is a little bit controversial. I know people were kind of salty that Eggman won, but like, bitch, like who cares? Like, I don't give a fuck. All right? Like, are you seriously like you watch this fucking animation? Like, you watch like literally the best Death Battle animation ever, and like the only thing on your mind is like, oh, Eggman should have won. Eggman should have won. Like, I swear to God, like Death Battle haters and like Death Battle fake fans, I'm convinced they are like, I'm convinced they don't have working eyes. Like how can you watch that fight and like just like not even remotely care about the research? Like, I don't understand, dude. Like, I mean, I don't even think the episode's wrong. I thought they explained it just fine. All right, the conclusion I thought was really cool. I love like the alternate endings. Like that was so awesome that they animated all those alternate scenarios. Like Moro, he like really went above and beyond with this one. Like it's still insane to me that Moro, he's the same guy that was like fucking Droop the Hedgehog back in like Cartoon Fight Club season 2. Like that's just insane that that's him. That's him. He went from doing fucking Sonic versus Sans. No, he went from doing fucking Asgore versus Bowser to this. Like, it's just crazy, dude. Like, I mean, he even did like an entire like war episode all on his own for Rewind Rumble. He did the Smash vs. Jump Force war. That was basically like a prelude for this. Like this fight, it felt like a fucking Total War episode. Like, it felt more like a fucking Total War than like the actual Mario vs. Sonic Total War on Rewind Rumble. Like, it's crazy how much work he put into it to this. Like seriously, dude. Like, just like imagine like how many awesome like army fights we could get in this style. Like seriously. Like if we get more episodes that are on this level of quality and just like craziness in the future, like I might have to adjust my entire rating system. Like I didn't even know this kind of stuff was possible. Like Moro, he's just like he's a god. He just like transcends all dimensions with how amazing he is at animating. Like it's crazy. All right, like like this episode, man. Like I've literally been talking for like 10 minutes about it, just like completely unscripted. You want to know what I can do with a fucking fully scripted rundown? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Bowser vs. Eggman should be obvious. Just like 11 out of 10. Just like absolute masterpiece. Like best episode in the entire series, even better than Goku vs. Superman. Like just straight up, like better than fucking Goku vs. Superman. And if you hate the episode because Eggman won, you're a fucking retard. Go fuck yourself. Now for the next episode, I actually was kind of expecting it to be like a bit of like a joke matchup or like something less serious, but I wasn't I was not prepared for it to be Fall Guys versus Among Us. I should have seen it coming. I actually did think it was pretty likely to happen like later down the line, but it definitely came out way sooner than I was expecting. And I mean, I was definitely very hyped. I mean, I don't really give a shit about either game, but like, I still love the matchup. I still think it's a very fun matchup. Like, I still thought it could easily result in like one of the most entertaining episodes in the entire show. And what do you know? It did just that. All right, the episode we got, I thought was absolutely fantastic. It's not perfect. I'll get into my issues later, but I really loved it. I mean, just full stop. I thought it was excellent. I mean, starting with the analysis, I thought both analysis segments were just super entertaining. I didn't really have any issues with them. I thought they were basically perfect analysis segments. They're just like all around like just super entertaining, like great editing, great jokes. Like I don't have any issues with them. So the fight though, I actually do have a major issue with it. I guess I'll just get it out of the way because it's literally the first minute of the fight basically. I just thought was kind of bad. Like my issue with the first minute was it just felt like very pointless to me. Like it almost felt like the entire first minute was just like complete filler. Because you have the setup, you have like the 30-second setup in like the Among Us hub world, and it's literally completely pointless. Like they're not even fighting each other. Like they're fighting amongst each other. Like like the Among Us characters are like fighting the Among Us characters. They're not even fighting the Fall Guys characters. Like they're not even fighting each other yet. Like and then they just leave. So that entire setup was just like completely pointless. That was just like 30 seconds of wasted time where like nothing even happened, only for them to just like immediately leave. So like, what was the point of that setup? And then the next 30 seconds is like this really like badly animated like freeze frame montage. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be funny, but like, I don't know, man. It kind of felt like it felt like they ran out of a budget, you know? Like it felt like a moment that kind of like made it obvious that like they're like independent now and like lower budget. Like the rest of the episodes I covered, like they do like a basically a perfect job at hiding it. Like they're basically indistinguishable from what we got in Rooster Teeth, if not even better. That moment though, like it made it very obvious. Like I was not a fan of that scene at all. Like it felt very clunky. So yeah, I mean the entire first minute of the fight I thought was maybe not bad, but definitely kind of a little bit lackluster, honestly. But the rest of the fight though, after the freeze frame montage, I think is like basically perfect. I mean, like honestly, they could have started it just like with them on the obstacle course, like a minute into the fight. They could have just started with that. That would have been a perfect start, you know? Like they're not starting too crazy, like it's kind of laid back. Like that would have been a perfect start, but no, that's like a minute into the fight. It's a minute into the fight, so really we only get like 2.5 minutes of like actually like great content. But I mean, hey, Jack vs. Afro was like 2.5 minutes, so that doesn't mean the episode isn't amazing. All right. So yeah, I think what we get after the freeze frame montage, I think that would have been a great start to the fight. Like it's got a very laid back tone. Like it's basically perfect. But then once the imposter is revealed and we get that 1v1, I mean that's when the fight like really reaches. Like in my opinion, that's when it really reaches like Bill versus Discord status. Like I'm serious. Like as much as I have issues with the episode, I do think when it's at its best, it genuinely rivals Bill versus Discord and like Scooby versus Courage in terms of quality. I genuinely think it rivals those two episodes. Like the tone is perfect. Like the amount of jokes is so good. Like the jokes are very creative in this one. Like the action is just so crazy. Like the animation just looks amazing. The hand drawn stuff is phenomenal. Like it's basically just got like all the good qualities of Build vs Discord. Like, and then the fight just like gets even crazier. Like when they're in space and they got all the crossover equipment. Like it really reaches like that's shit. That part of the fight. Like if the entire fight was like that, I think this would have been like a top 5 episode ever potentially, or at least top 10, because it's so good, man. It's so damn good. And I love the ending too. Like the ending is so much personality. Like I love the jokes in this episode. Like they definitely got very creative with the jokes. Like it has so much personality. Like it's just so good. Like the fight, it starts kind of bad. Like the entire first minute is not very good. Like you could literally cut out the entire first minute and nothing in the fight would change. But I think the rest of it is flawless. Like it is legitimately flawless. Like if we got like an extra minute of like, just, you know, top tier content, I think this would have been like a top 10 episode ever. But unfortunately, I I do have to keep complaining a little bit because I do have some issues with some of the writing and the conclusion. Now, I'm not saying the episode's wrong. I do think the episode was obviously right. I do think they did like an okay job explaining it overall, but I do have a major issue with the offense section because they give the Among Us characters the edge in offense for some reason, for the planet busting feat. But like in the Fall Guys analysis, they literally said the Fall Guys can light up constellations. So like, wouldn't they have the offense edge? Like, I don't know. It was just kind of frustrating for me. Like, it felt kind of pandering. Like, oh, we can't. Like, oh no, the matchup's a stomp. Oh no, we gotta make the loser look more impressive. Like it. Like I just hate whenever they do that. Like, Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, they try coping and saying like, oh no, Goku Black had the strength advantage. Wonder Woman versus She-Ra, they try coping and saying, oh no, She-Ra has a strength advantage, even though they scale her to fucking the Flash, who they put at like multiverse level in that same season. Like, I just hate whenever they do that. Like, oh wow, look how quirky it is. Look, the character who had the strength advantage ended up losing. Look at that. Like, I hate whenever they try forcing stuff like that. Like, just tell it how it is. Come on. There's no need to be so pandering. So that part was just kind of frustrating. Like, that's just like a major pet peeve I have with like a lot of Death Battle conclusions is like when they falsely give the loser the strength advantage, just to like try to artificially make it look closer. Like it's just kind of pandering writing for me. I'm not a huge fan when they do that, but I thought the rest of the conclusion was fine. There wasn't anything wrong with it really. It was a pretty good conclusion, and yeah, overall I do have issues with the episode. I wouldn't really give it a 10, but it is very close. Like it definitely has like a 10 out of 10 analysis, and like the last 2.5 minutes of the fight are like a 10 out of 10. So I'd probably give it like about like a 9.5. Like it is very close, but unfortunately it does have plenty of issues that hold it back for me. All right, but I mean, if it didn't have those issues, it could have been like up there. It sucks that it didn't get to be up there in my top 10, but hey, it was still about as good as I was hoping it would be, so that's all that really matters. So yeah, and then the next episode was pretty obvious. I mean, I was honestly surprised that Kratos vs. Zazer was not a 2024 episode, considering, they already had footage done for it. So it being the premiere for 2025, I definitely saw it coming. But to be honest, I was not really very excited for this episode. I already explained it in my thoughts on the Future of Death Battle video, but I just didn't really see how the matchup could have like a good fight dynamic. Like the two just fight in such like drastically different ways. I just thought it was kind of a mismatch. And well, it got kind of interesting because to my surprise, the Death Battle team, they really, really, really started hyping this episode up. Like they were hyping this episode up like it was gonna be like the next Goku versus Superman 3, or like the next Bowser versus Eggman, or the next Bill Cyrus versus Discord. Like they were hyping this one up like it would be like one of the top 5 in the entire show. Like it would be like on that pedestal of like just Saitama versus Popeye, Scooby versus Courage, just like their absolute like peak, like their absolute like just masterpieces. All right, like that teaser image. Spoiler alert: the fight did not even look half a percent good as that fucking teaser image. But like when I saw that teaser image, I thought that was what the actual fight was gonna look like. Like it looked like as good as fucking Galactus versus Unicron, so I was definitely super hyped at first. Like it definitely got me more hyped to see just like how much they were like really hyping this episode up. Like it definitely got me maybe a little bit too hopeful. All right, because I guess I'll talk about this right now, but yeah, the marketing for this episode was kind of misleading. It had a very strange, it had very strange marketing. Like it had very strange marketing. I mean, not only was that teaser image kind of misleading, like the actual fight. I mean, it looks worse than like Omni-Man versus Bardock and like Master Chief versus Doomslayer. Like it's the worst looking 3 fight of the season. They give it like a super insanely high quality teaser image that like makes it look as good as Galactus versus Unicron. Like that was kind of weird that they did that. And also, I mean, well, I'll talk about the episode's quality later on, but they also kept hyping up, man, this is gonna be like the longest episode of the entire show, or this is gonna be the longest episode of the entire show. Devil Artemis, he animated 9 minutes of footage for this fight, and it's gonna be 6 minutes long, bare minimum. And then, well, I'll get to it later, but that was also quite misleading. All right, that was also quite misleading. But I guess I'll just get right into the episode. I know it's a very widely hated episode. It's definitely the most controversial of the entire season, maybe even more than Bardock versus Omni-Man. I know not a lot of people like it too much, but I mean I still like the episode. I wouldn't say it was great. I would not say it was a great episode. It had some great qualities, but overall I'd give it like about a 7 or like a 7.5 maybe. I enjoyed it. It was about what I was expecting. I mean, I would not. I mean, obviously after the fucking marketing, I was expecting a lot more, and I got a bit let down. But when they first revealed it the Kickstarter, I mean, this is like about what I was expecting the episode to be honest. However, the analysis I think really went above and beyond. Like the analysis for this episode, I thought was excellent for both characters, especially for Azra. But yeah, both characters I thought the analysis was excellent. Definitely the best thing about the episode was the analysis. It definitely went above and beyond a lot more than I was expecting it to. The fight, on the other hand, it's a bit more of a mixed bag, but I still enjoy it overall. I still thought it was decent, though I do have my issues with it. I mean, narratively, it just didn't really do anything for me. Narratively, it didn't really do anything for me. Like, I thought that aspect of the animation kind of fell flat. And I mean, similar to Fall Guys vs. Among Us, the setup also just feels completely pointless. Like, why does Kratos get teleported? Like, I don't know. Like, what was the point of the scene? I don't know. It just kind of happens. So that's like a minute of the fight that could have been cut out. This is the episode they were really hyping up how long the animation was, and it has like the most filler out of like any fight animation in the entire season. So that was very bizarre marketing. That was very misleading marketing. All right, I don't know what they were thinking there, because I mean, really, this fight. I mean, the actual fighting part is only about like I'd say like 3.5 minutes long. Like it's about like the standard length for a Death Battle fight. In fact, it's got even less fighting than like Bardock vs. Omni-Man, which is like 4 minutes long. But the reason why it's 6.5 minutes is because there's like so many establishing shots. Like the fight is very slow and cinematic. Like there's like an extra 3 minutes of just like establishing shots and establishing shots. Like it's a very drawn out animation. There's definitely a lot of filler. And like I said, like writing wise, story wise, it just didn't really do anything for me. All right, it just it just did not go as hard as I'm sure a lot of people would have hoped for. Now, in terms of like the actual fighting, I do think it starts out pretty good. I do think the choreography is pretty good at first, but it does kind of go downhill a bit as it goes along. Like the choreography just starts to feel like a bit of a mess. Like it just is not that interesting. Like it definitely kind of goes downhill as it goes along. Like that chain attack, especially that felt kind of janky. Like there is a little bit of like janky animation. Like visually, this is not a great fight visually. Like it feels very similar to like James Bond versus John Wick, to be honest. Like it has like that same like kind of like really glossy lighting that Bond versus Wick had. In fact, this episode's very similar to Bond versus Wick in terms of quality. It's very similar to that one. It's got like a really great analysis, and then it's got like a fight that's like visually kind of mediocre, but still has some pretty cool moments. I mean, I do think Bond vs. Wick is definitely a better episode, just because the fight is not as drawn out and it's got much better writing, but they are quite similar, which I find kind of amusing. But yeah, I mean, especially for an episode that they made like the highest quality teaser image in existence for, visually it felt kind of flat. Like, I don't know, it just had like a really weird look to it. Like, it just had like very glossy, like kind of flat lighting. Like, I don't know. I definitely think the 3D fights have kind of gone downhill visually. Like, no offense to Devil Artemis, but I do think the 3D fights have kind of gone downhill a bit compared to season 10. Like, we haven't really gotten anything comparable to Cole versus Alex yet. I mean, spoilers for the Chief versus Slayer segment, but yeah. So I do think the fight, it definitely picks up towards the end. I think the sequence with Blue Ozra, I thought that was awesome. Like that was a fantastic sequence. Like visually that was incredible. Like visually that was absolutely fantastic. And I also really love the sequence of Kratos like jumping from like boulder to boulder, like ready to take him down. Like that was so cool. I love that bit. And the music I think definitely made the fight feel a lot more cinematic. Like it definitely has like one of the most cinematic tracks in the entire show in my opinion. Like the music, it honestly kind of reminded me like a little bit of like the later Harry Potter movies. I know it's kind of a random comparison, but hey. So yeah, overall I thought the fight, it was kind of a mixed bag, but overall I'd say I enjoyed it just fine. It was a pretty decent fight. It wasn't anything overly special, but I don't think it's like the complete shit show that everyone else says it is. I'm just kind of in the middle on it, I guess. I mean, I know some people probably think it's like peak fiction or whatever, but I'm just kind of in the middle. And then yeah, the conclusion. I mean, once again, Death Battle they feature characters at their absolute best. I mean, they're scaling. I don't always agree with it, but it's just kind of a concession you have to make if like you want to enjoy the show. So yeah, I thought the outcome was fine. The alternate ending though fucking sucks. The alternate ending was not great. It was like a really like unimpactful like quick time event. It was just like one like Ozra just like kills him in one punch with like a really unimpactful quick time event. Like it's a really shitty alternate ending. It's definitely not as cool as like the alternate scenarios we got for Bowser vs. Eggman. So yeah, I mean for an episode that Death Battle hyped up as like the second coming of Christ, I mean it felt like a bit of a letdown. I mean I wasn't even really excited for the matchup, and I think it was a bit of a letdown to be honest. Like analysis wise, I definitely think it knocked it out of the park, but yeah, the fight it's definitely it definitely could have used some work. It's definitely got some issues. I don't know. And then yeah, after that, I mean they revealed this one at Mags Fest. I mean obviously this is like one of the few non-Kickstarter matchups, so I guess they just felt like it just made sense to reveal it at Mags Fest just so they'd have something big to reveal. But yeah, Ghost Rider versus Spawn. This was one of my all-time most wanted episodes for the entire show. Like this is definitely like dream season material for me. So I was definitely very excited to see that they were going to be doing it. I should have seen it coming, but yeah, it definitely surprised me when they announced it. Like I thought they were gonna do other legacy matchups, but I should have seen it coming. But yeah, I mean Ghost Rider versus Spawn. I mean it was just so good. I fucking loved it. I was so hyped for the episode, and it was basically perfect, man. Like it was everything I could have ever wanted for the matchup. Like seriously, dude. I mean analysis wise, like these are like some of the best analysis segments in the entire show. Like they're literally perfect. Like they're so good, man. Like writing wise, they're excellent. Like they cover everything they need to. Like they're very long analysis segments too, which I always like. Editing wise, they're great. Like they're just so good. Like especially Spawns. Spawns was a really interesting one for me because I don't really know too much about him, but obviously Marvel. I mean, they always have Marvel on. And yeah, fight wise, I mean, this is easily one of the best Sprite episodes in the show. Like it's up there with Dio versus Alucard for me as one of the best Sprite episodes. Like visually, it's incredible. Like action wise, it's amazing. There's so many great moments. Like there's so many sick shots. Like dialogue wise, it's also really great. Like I love all the interactions. I love all of Spawn's lines. Like I love all of Ghost Rider's lines. Like the voice acting is just top notch. Like it's just such a fucking cool fight, man. Like it is easily one of the most awesome fights in the entire show. Not only that, but the track is easily up there as one of the best tracks in the show as well. All right, like it is just phenomenal stuff. I mean, I could see some people thinking the fight is a little too fast paced, but I mean, I don't mind personally. I still felt like they did a lot with the matchup. I still felt like they got to include a lot. But I could see some people thinking the fight's a little too fast paced because they do kind of jump to forms very fast. But I don't really mind it personally, especially like with how awesome the final fight between Zarathos and Godspawn is. Like that was really creative how they like kind of had heaven and hell like taking precedent over the other. Like that was all really cool stuff. And yeah, just like the entire fight is absolutely excellent. And also, not only is the analysis great, not only is the fight great, but the conclusion is also a really interesting one because this is definitely one of the closest matchups in the entire show. Like, it's definitely one of the most complicated matchups in the entire show, and I think it made for like a very interesting outcome. Like, seriously, like this is definitely up there as one of the most engaging conclusions for me. Like, it's just a really really cool one. Like, this is definitely one of those kinds of episodes that just like nails everything. Like it just nails literally everything. There's not a single thing wrong with it. Like writing, 10 out of 10. Editing, 10 out of 10. Animation quality, 10 out of 10. Choreography, 10 out of 10. Like dialogue, 10 out of 10. Music, 10 out of 10. Like conclusion, 10 out of 10. Like this is definitely like one of my top 15 favorite episodes in the entire show. Like it just does everything right. It does fucking everything right, and I absolutely adored it. All right, so the next episode, Mahito versus Shigaraki. This was, aside from Light versus Columbo, this was my least anticipated episode of the season by far. Like I had never heard of either character. Like I'm never usually too big on anime matchups. Like I was really going into this one expecting like another Killua versus Misaka, another Deku versus Asta. Like I was just kind of expecting like a standard like 6 out of 10 death battle. Like I had no expectations for this at all. But then I hear that Moro is animating, and I kind of go like, hold up, this might be something. This might be something. Moro is animating. He's the guy that did Bowser vs. Eggman. This episode could be amazing. And then it comes out, and what do you know? It's another episode I'd give a 10. Just two in a row. Ghost Rider vs. Spawn's a 10. And then, yeah, Mahito versus Shigaraki, my least anticipated full episode, ends up getting a 10. Like, it ends up being one of my favorites of the season so far. Crazy, man. Like, I don't think I've ever had, like, such a big turnaround on, like, a matchup ever. Like, this is definitely one of the biggest surprises in the entire show. Like, they just absolutely killed it with this one. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. Like, this episode is easily one of the best in the entire show. Like, even as someone who had like zero interest in the matchup going in, like they got me to care about this one. Like the analysis segments here are fucking incredible. Like they're just as good as the ones in Ghost Rider vs. Spawn. I mean, obviously those ones I'm a bit more invested in, but like quality wise, I'd say they're about on par. I mean, Mahito's I think is like maybe a little bit hard to follow. I mean, it's mainly going into like a lot of powers. Shigaraki's is a bit more story driven. It's a bit more easy to follow, but I mean that's more of my fault to be honest. I think both of them are excellent in terms of writing. Like they're amazing in terms of writing. They cover, especially Shigaraki's story. Like they made that really compelling. Like they covered that super well. And yeah, editing wise, I also thought it was just absolutely superb as usual. I mean, Death Battle's editing this season is just crazy. Like every episode has had just like perfect editing. Like it's crazy. Like ever since they went independent, their editing is just like skyrocketed in terms of quality. Like it's so good. Like it's always just so good. And then yeah, the fight is also basically perfect. I mean, Moro, he absolutely killed it with this one. It's basically a perfect fight. Like visually, just like absolutely fantastic. Like I just think it translated super well in his style. Like all the crazy like body horror and like all the crazy powers. Like it translated so well in Moro's animation style. Like the entire fight is just awesome from start to finish. Like it's so good. Like I especially love how Moro he kind of like incorporates 3D elements into the animation. Like it definitely gives it like a really dynamic feeling. Like it definitely makes the choreography feel like a lot more dynamic. Like I love all the sweeping camera motions. Like it's so cool. Like the camera in this one for a hand-drawn fight, the camera is like absolutely fantastic. Like it's absolutely excellent. My favorite sequence is definitely like the fight between their final forms in the train. Like it really like goes to town with like that dynamic 3D camera. Like it really made that sequence phenomenal. And I mean, dialogue once again is just like perfect, like perfect interactions. Like they really killed it with this one. They really made this episode like about as good as it could possibly be. And obviously the conclusion it makes sense. I mean the matchup's a bit of a stomp, but obviously they explained it really well. So yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean I'm not too invested in the matchup, but I mean I just kind of gush about it, man. Like it's just phenomenal. I don't have like a super detailed opinion on it, but I love basically everything about this episode. All right, I hope there's more episodes in the future that surprise me. I mean, I know I wasn't that excited about, but I hope that one is also able to surprise me. We'll see. Next up, we have an episode that I was actually very excited for, and that's the rematch, the fan voted rematch. I was very, very interested to see this one. Obviously, Master Chief versus Doomslayer winning. Like, I mean, I thought for a second Mewtwo versus Shadow could have won, but nah. Like, obviously this one took it, and it apparently had a very, very strong lead on that one. So I was very excited for this episode going in. And look, I know this is also a very controversial episode. Yeah, all three of the 3D episodes have been controversial. Alright, Devil Artemis, he can't catch a break. It's sad. Like, all three of them are controversial. And, I mean, look, I do have some issues with the episode. I do think there's some aspects that were a bit underwhelming, but overall, I still loved it. I still thought it was a pretty great episode. I don't really get why it's so widely disliked. I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I do understand some of the criticisms. In fact, I mean, let's just get right into it. The analysis, I think, is a bit of a mixed bag. Like Master Chief's analysis, like it starts out really good. I mean, I think they cover his backstory very well, but I mean, after that, it just kind of feels like just kind of derivative of his season one analysis. Honestly, like they don't really talk about like any kind of story or lore at all past his backstory. They just kind of talk about his weapons and like Cortana for like the rest of it. They don't really talk about any other like story beats or like any other like foes he's faced off against. Like it just feels like kind of a bit of a generic respect thread, kind of similar to his season one analysis. I mean, I've not seen that episode in ages, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, it was a bit underwhelming. I mean, it wasn't a bad analysis. I mean, it was still entertaining, but I think it could have been a lot better. I mean, look, I've not played the Halo games. I do promise I will play the Halo games for my fully scripted season 11 ranking, which I am doing. I am gonna do that once it's all said and done. I'm gonna do a fully scripted season 11 ranking, and I'm gonna play all the Halo games for my review of Master Chief vs. Doomslayer. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I very highly doubt that the Halo games have no story. I very highly doubt that they have like no lore. Like, it definitely seemed like there was a lot more they could have done. Like, it was a bit of a underwhelming analysis segment. Doomslayers, though, I actually think was a lot better. I thought it was a pretty fantastic analysis for Doomslayer. I thought it covered him significantly better. All right, like they cover pretty much everything. They cover his weapons. Like they kind of talk about a little bit like who he is as a character. Like they talk about lore, which they didn't do at all for Halo. They didn't talk about any lore there. They talk about like more story beats in this one. Like they talk about other characters like Davoth. Like Master Chief's analysis, they don't even discuss any kind of villains. Like they don't discuss any of that. Like it felt so lacking compared to Doomslayers, which felt like it tackled basically everything it needed to. Like this is basically a perfect analysis for Doomslayer. I mean, I know some people dislike it, but I don't know. I disagree. I mean, look, I've only played one Doom game. I played Doom: The Dark Ages, the new one, and I really love that game. I do promise I will play the other two as well for my Season 11 ranking. In fact, I might play those two in like a couple weeks, to be honest. So yeah, Doom Slayer, loved his rundown. Didn't have any issues with it. I thought it covered everything basically perfectly. They didn't really go super in depth on like the dimensional tearing, but that's understandable. They didn't need to. They didn't need to brutalize Master Chief that badly. All right, but I'll talk about the conclusion later because the fight, I think, it's not perfect. There is a couple issues I have with it, but overall, I still thought the fight was pretty great. I definitely think it's an underrated one. I know a lot of people are pretty harsh on it, but I actually really enjoyed it, honestly. Yeah, the first half is like a bit more grounded, and yeah, I really enjoyed the first half. It kind of felt like a very very much revamped version of the first one. Like it felt like a very much revamped version of the first one. That was just kind of cool to see, like an old Death Battle finally getting a modern treatment. Like I definitely really enjoyed the first half. It had a lot of really nice choreography, like Master Chief using like the momentum from his grenade launcher and their melee clash. Like there's plenty of really creative moments. Like I love the first person shot. Like there's a lot of good choreography. I mean, I do think the melee choreography was like a little bit repetitive. Like there wasn't like really any dynamic like sword choreography. Like they just kind of got into a clash and just like stood still. But even then, they still have some pretty dynamic stuff in there. Like that's not entirely true anyway. I mean, you have that part with the grenade launcher. Like that was really cool. Like yeah, the first half I think is pretty great. Second half, I mean, I do have one issue with it. This is gonna be a very hot take. I know I said I really liked the episode, but I'm not the biggest fan of the scene where they stop to fight demons. I know that's everybody's favorite scene. Like, even some of the people who dislike the episode, I'm sure it's probably their favorite scene, but I don't know. It felt kind of underwhelming. Like, it didn't really feel very well choreographed. Like, Frank versus Leon, I thought did it way better. Like, where they're fighting each other and they're fighting the zombies at the same time. Like, that scene was super well choreographed. The one here, they just kind of stop to fight demons. Like they don't really work it into like the choreography very well. Like it kind of breaks the pace of the fight. Like it feels very similar to like the scene in Batman versus Black Panther of all episodes. And also it felt kind of out of character when like immediately after helping fight the demons, like Doomslayer just like immediately punches Master Chief. Like that felt kind of out of character. All right, I wasn't a big fan of that. But I mean, what follows it, I think the rest of the fight after that is still great. Like you get like a really dynamic sequence after that with like some super slick choreography. Absolutely love it. The scene where Doomslayer like runs up to his own rocket, catches it, and then throws it at Master Chief. That scene is absolutely amazing. That is so cool. That is phenomenal. And yeah, well, let's talk about the death. I know the death in this episode is very, very, very controversial. All right, I know a lot of people thought it was like disrespectful. A lot of people thought it was like out of character. Me personally, though, I mean, look, I've only played one Doom game, but I don't really get this criticism to be honest. I didn't really find it to be disrespectful. I didn't really find it to be out of character either. I thought the death was really cool. I didn't really have any issues with it. I thought it was a really cool death. I especially love the final shot. Like that goes hard. All right, that absolutely goes hard. All right. Now I know people have said that it's like apparently out of character for Doomslayer to kill another human. Now, look, I'm not the biggest authority on this point. I've only played one Doom game, but I mean, just like, I mean, look, I judge these episodes on my perspective. I don't judge it from like, Nemesis Bloodreich or Jonathan Froston's perspective. Like, I judge it purely from my perspective. Like, from my perspective of playing Doom the Dark Ages and watching fucking Vinesauce Joel play the other two Doom games, like, I don't really get the implication that Doom Slayer is like a pacifist in the same way that Batman is. Like, I know a lot of people are very hell bent on the fact that, or the opinion that, oh, he can't kill a human. That's completely out of character. He would never do that. He would never, under any circumstance, do that. All right, but like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sure, he's friendly with the humans in Doom the Dark Ages, but like that's because they're his fucking allies. There's a difference between having allies and just being a complete pacifist like Frisk or like Batman. So I don't really get that criticism. I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, I'm not super educated on Doom lore, but I mean, for me anyway, it didn't really matter. And even then, like, it's a death battle. Like, you gotta make some kind of concessions. I mean, you can't deny the fact that Doomslayer is a brutal character. Like, he is very much well known for his glory kills. Like, even if you could call it out of character, I still feel like it's kind of like an unfair criticism. I feel like it's like a concession you'd have to make with the episode. I mean, it's Doomslayer on a death battle episode. Not having him do a brutal kill would just be like a very much missed opportunity. And I mean, look, just from my point of view of playing the games, I just don't really see how it's like such a big aspect of his character. I don't really see how it's like that much of an important aspect that he's like this pacifist. Like, I don't know, that criticism I just don't really get. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I just think it's kind of a bizarre criticism. It's kind of an unfair criticism as well. And then yeah, the conclusion obviously, once again, another stomp matchup. There's no way they could get this wrong. And yeah, I mean they explain it just fine. All right, there wasn't really anything wrong with their explanation. So overall, there was a couple aspects that were a bit of a letdown, but I'd say for the most part, I still love this episode. I still thought Doomslayer had a really great analysis. And aside from just like one scene that I had a problem with, I thought the rest of the fight was just like fantastic. I didn't really have any issues with the rest of the fight. I thought it did pretty much everything it needed to do. So I'd probably rank the episode about like an 8.5. For a while, I did give it like a 9 or a 10, but I mean that was just pure recency bias. It happens to everybody, and I'm definitely the biggest victim of recency bias ever. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the entire first half of season 11. Obviously, we did get two more episodes, Kyle versus Simone and Tom versus Wiley. This video has just been so delayed that I'm just gonna have to cover those two, maybe in like a separate video. Maybe I'll do like a double feature of like Tom versus Wiley and Simone versus Kyle on the same kind of format, just like unscripted podcast. But I mean, going back to the first half of season 11 and just like the first 10 episodes of season 11 in general, screw it. Just like so far, season 11, I think it's on track to be my new favorite season. I know I praised season 10 quite a bit. I said that that was my favorite season, but I mean, somehow they found a way to just like up the ante even more. They somehow found a way to raise the stakes even more. And yeah, it's crazy. Like every time I think Death Battle is gonna take it easy, they just like absolutely shock the hell out of me and just make something incredible. Like this season so far, I think it's gonna be my new favorite. I think it's gonna be my new favorite. I mean, it's literally got my new favorite episode in the entire show. I'm ready for season 11 to be my new favorite. And I'm so hyped for the other episodes, man. I'm so hyped. Obviously, you know, fucking. I mean, I'll talk about Deku versus Spider-Man more in that video, but yeah, we'll see what they do with that. But I mean, yeah, going back to season 11, I mean, like analysis segment wise, like I think this is easily the best season in terms of analysis segments so far. Like literally the only analysis segments, like literally the only analysis segment that I wasn't a huge fan of was Master Chief, and I guess Joker and Jordo, those were kind of short as well. Those were like a little bit short and not as good as some of the others, but really it was just Master Chief who had like a huge problem with the analysis. Like for the most part, the analysis segments are just all around fantastic. Like Omni-Man versus Bardock, Fall Guys versus Among Us, Bowser versus Eggman, like even Kratos versus Azura, like Ghost Rider versus Spawn, Shigaraki versus Mahito. Like those episodes have like some of the best pairs of analysis segments in the entire show. Like it's just crazy. It's just like how consistently fantastic all the analysis segments were, and not to mention the editing. Like every single episode, the editing is perfect. Like I mean, obviously it varies with some episodes. Obviously, the comic episodes are gonna have more over the top editing, but like I think all around the board, the editing is easily the best it's ever been. Like they're absolutely killing it. All right, they're absolutely putting in 110% effort on that front. And I mean, in terms of the Sprite episodes, I think so far, I mean, obviously they're mixing in some hand-drawn episodes as well. But that team, like, Origin, Larry, Zach, like, I think they've definitely improved a lot in this season compared to season 10. Season 10, I mean, aside from, I'd say, like, Gojo versus Makima and, like, obviously Bill Cyrus versus Discord, I thought a lot of the Sprite episodes in season 10 were a little bit underwhelming. But here, they've all just been amazing. Like they've all been absolutely fantastic. And obviously, Moro, like, I'm so glad they're letting him do his own solo episodes. I mean, he was great in Bill Cyrus vs. Discord and Martian Manhunter vs. Silver Surfer, but like letting him do his own solo episodes is like one of the best decisions that Death Battle's ever made. It's resulted so far in like two absolutely fantastic episodes, and just like outright my new favorite episode in the entire show. Like the hand-drawn fights really are just absolutely top notch. All right. And I mean, yeah, the next two are literally two hand-drawn fights. I'll talk about those later, but yeah, spoiler alert, but I really love both of them. Now, obviously, though, this is not a perfect season. I do have one minor complaint. That's that the 3D fights. I mean, look, they're still great overall. I still think the 3D fights are great overall. They're not too big of a drop off compared to season 10, but I mean, unfortunately, we don't really get 3D fights like Cole versus Alex or like Galactus versus Unicron or Goku versus Superman anymore. Like the 3D fights they've mostly been great, sure, but like we don't really get any that are like 10 out of 10 like best episode ever material. Like it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen at this point. Like I don't know. Maybe they'll get better later on, but I mean so far I do think the 3D fights are a bit of a downgrade compared to last season. I mean Kratos versus Azura in particular, like that might be like the worst 3D fight we've gotten since like I mean I don't want to compare it to Jason versus Michael because that episode sucks, but like it felt kind of similar to like Bond versus Wick. Like it didn't really feel like it came from season 10. Like Omni-Man versus Bardock and Master Chief versus Doomslayer, those felt like they came out of season 10. They felt pretty on par with like like Chosen Undead versus Dragonborn and like Megatron versus Frieza, like some of the other 3D fights. But yeah, overall, that is my one complaint is that the 3D fights do feel like they've kind of gone downhill a bit. I mean, Devil Artemis is great, but I don't really know if he can carry like the entire genre of 3D death battles like pretty much on his own. I just don't really think that's possible, but hopefully they get the team back together. It seems like they got David Fisher back. Luis, he's helping out with Hulk versus Godzilla. So yeah, it does seem like they're getting the team back together. So hopefully we do get 3D fights that are on par with Cole versus Alex again. I mean, obviously Galactus versus Unicron, that was a different team, but yeah, Cole versus Alex, Sauron versus Lich King, those are just like absolutely fantastic episodes. Hopefully we can get that kind of quality again, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, I'm definitely very hopeful for Death Battle. I think they've got a very bright future. I think so far the independent era surprisingly has been better than the Rooster Teeth era. You'd think with like a lower budget they wouldn't be able to be as good, but it seems like it hasn't stopped them at all from making episodes that are even better than anything they did in Rooster Teeth. I mean, it's crazy. Like Death Battle, like it's absolutely unkillable. All right, like you cannot stop Death Battle. Like it is one of the most special channels on YouTube. You cannot stop them. All right, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. I cannot wait to talk about Kyle versus Simone and Tom versus Wiley, and Deku versus Spider-Man and Hulk versus Godzilla and whatever other episodes they do. So that's gonna do it for this video. I know I went kind of long, but I mean, when I can just talk like this with no script, I could just kind of ramble on forever, especially with a topic like Death Battle. So I'll call it here. See you later. Goodbye. Peace out.